Hello everyone! Welcome to another edition of 5 Facts. I'm Tony Southcutt, and today we're going to be talking about Eli Roth's 2005 hit Hostel. Hostel is basically the story of a few tourists lured into a murderous vacation in Slovakia. They have some problems whenever they stay in a hostel, and everything's not as it seems. Often this movie is labeled as torture porn. The film helped usher in an era of body horror likes of which we hadn't seen for decades. So there are a lot of culturally significant things about Hostel. But anyway, let's get to the facts. Fact number 1. Some parts of this film were made in a functioning mental hospital. The interior of the slaughterhouse was filmed at a functioning mental hospital in Prague built in 1910, in a wing that had been closed for over 50 years. Building 10, where many of the scenes were filmed, was actually where the most violent and disturbed patients were taken. This put a lot of people on the set at unease, so they ended up bringing in a string quartet to give it kind of a cozier feel while they were working down there. Because this film was shot really fast, they didn't have to spend a ton of time down there, but there were a lot of visual effects required, so it took a bit more effort. Fact number 2. Hostel may be based on true events. The events I'm talking about aren't specifically about American tourists. The trailers bill the movie as inspired by true events. Director Eli Roth said that he found a Thai website that advertised itself as a murder vacation, offering users the chance to murder somebody for $10,000. According to the story, videos of a random person walking into a room and shooting someone else in the head were available on this site. Eli Roth initially wanted to do a documentary on the subject of a murder vacation. However, as he was doing research, he found it impossible to get in contact with the people involved, and he thought he would be putting himself at a lot of danger to expose this sort of vacation. Tarantino and Roth said later on an Icelandic talk show that they have no idea if the website was real or not. I have a feeling that this is a little bit kind of like how Fargo is based on a true story. Like, Fargo was basically just full-on saying that. I'm sure that this website existed, but it's hard for me to believe that you could find that fairly easily. Then again, knowing people, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Fact number 3. Eli Roth issued a formal apology to the president of Iceland for his portrayal of their people. Eli Roth asked the president of Iceland for an official pardon for making Icelanders look like drunken sex maniacs with the character of Ollie. The president laughed and gave Roth the pardon, saying it was represented a side of Icelanders that hadn't been shown in movies. The character of Ollie was essentially Ithor Gudjonsson playing himself. Roth met Ithor while living in Iceland. We went out and he was insane, Roth told Dread Central. I'd never met anyone like him, and I thought, this guy has to be in a movie. Ithor thought that he was actually playing around whenever he offered him a part, but Roth gave it to him later, and Ithor happily accepted. Fact number 4. The cab driver originally hired for the film was too drunk to play his role. In the script, the travelers arrive via cab to the hostel. Before shooting the scene, the man who was supposed to play the cab driver showed up to the set quite drunk. I heard the cab driver got so drunk we couldn't film a single goddamn scene with it, and we had our stuntman doubling him, Roth told the actors in a Making of Hostel documentary. Yeah, it'll look right, but he'll go into the river, and he can't even put his feet on the pedal. He's really loaded. So having this guy just completely wasted on set, they decided to use a stunt double, and that guy kind of squandered a small opportunity to be in a memorable film. The street kids in the movie, however, were a bunch of local children, and they proved to be more reliable and better actors than this cab driver would anyway. Fact number 5. One of the songs is a direct reference to The Wicker Man. About 26 minutes into the film, when Josh and Paxton return to the hostel with the girls after the nightclub scene, the song in the background is How To by the Sneaker Pimps. This is a remake of the song Willow sings to seduce Sergeant Howie in The Wicker Man, which we also did a video about. One thing that I didn't like the music in Wicker Man, I was talking about stuff at the beginning, not Willow's song. That was actually pretty good. Just clearing that up. Considering Willow's song is about seducing an outsider in a town controlled by some fairly cultish people, it fit really well with the film. There are a few other references in the film, such as the room they stay in is room 237, which is a Shining reference, at least for the movie. Another reference is the porn film being watched by the guard. It's called Sex Fever, and it's an X-rated parody of Eli Roth's first movie, Cabin Fever. Hostel is a grisly movie, and it's not trying to be much more. It wants to make you uncomfortable. It wants you to squirm in your seat as the beatings begin, as the blades come out. I'll admit that my gut dropped a little when the German started his chainsaw and you saw Paxton just on his chair, completely vulnerable. That was a really intense scene for me. Is there an underlying meaning here? Is there some sort of metaphor that I wasn't able to pick up? Maybe, but I haven't found one that I actually bought. I've heard people talk about how this movie was basically reflecting on 9/11 and how when these people were on vacation, they were out there, they were happy, they were hopeful for the future, and they were trying to just have fun. And then after this movie, they're just hardened, they're completely decrepit, and just not the same people that they were beforehand. I feel like this is something that was kind of applied afterwards. There are a lot of people who subscribe to this theory, but I'm not one of them. Partially because I think Eli Roth put the direct in director. He's always been very straightforward with what his movies are about. The bigger question about it is this: is it torture porn? Probably more than any other film on this list. Martyrs was trying to do more than simply survive. I suppose the real question is there a problem with a movie that just wants to gross you out, to put you through the grinder and put you at complete unease while you're watching it? To show you in graphic detail the sick and demented? I think there's a place for it. It's not necessarily my favorite type of movie, but every once in a while it's kind of like palate cleansing to just see something that's so raw. What did you guys think about Hostel? What were some of your favorite moments from it? Did you like it? Did you just have to endure it? Did you turn it off? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe and check out the other stuff on this channel. We make a lot of content about movies, history, all sorts of stuff, lots of gaming content. If you guys hit subscribe if you like the video, or if you want to share it online. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you in 2 weeks with another 5 Facts.